Hey guys, it's John and Morgan with Long Haul Lifesavers, where we cover anything from travel nursing to RV living. Today's video is going to be about the must-haves for full-time RV living.
So we want to start by saying that we are not affiliated with any of these products or endorsed by anyone or paid to represent any of these. So these are unbiased opinions of actual full-time RVers.
The first must-have is AquaKem. Now this is used for your black tank. We've used multiple other TSP, yeah. So we've used a lot, all the way from the little capsules that you drop in or the liquid. Now we prefer the liquid. We think it breaks down the sewage a little better, but that's specific and up to you guys. If they do have the AquaKem in the little packets, if you think that's a little cleaner and easier to do, but we highly recommend the brand AquaKem.
Yeah, and I prefer to buy the AquaKem that are in the
pre-bottled
bottles. And that makes it easier because the chemical is really strong, so I'm not having to actually pour it in anything. I literally just pour the whole bottle in and throw it away. The second product that we feel is a must-have is a pop-up stool. So not a fold-out stool, but a pop one that folds completely flat. You'll see in the picture here. I use the stool probably once a day. If you watched our video and touring our RV, you'll notice that our ceilings are all 8 foot tall and the cabinets go all the way to the top of the ceiling. So I am 5'8", but I still have a hard time trying to reach the top shelves all the way into the back, especially if he's not home to help grab something. And occasionally he even has to use the stool for things. Yeah. I also like to utilize the stool for helping. We have a dually truck and the hips on the truck are too wide for me to reach over, so I stand on the stool so that I can reach into the bed.
The third product is a hose. Now, I am a big stickler on hoses. I hate wrapping them up and they always get kinked and they break down after expansion and being in the heat all the time. So we really love the 0G hose. Now, it's an internal rubberized plastic with a canvas coating over it. So we've had one for almost two years now. It has never expanded. It's easy to wrap in. Even when you have pressurized water in it, it still wraps up easily. So it's very easy to store. And then when we don't have the water pressurized to it and we store it in our underbelly, you can wrap it up like an extension cord and it compresses down really well.
It actually fits right back into the original box that it came in, which I don't know about you, but I've never found any other product that you can squeeze back into its original packaging.
As far as a winter hose goes, we like the Pirit heated hose. We've made our own in the past and we've multiple other brands, but it seems like the Pirit is the only one that is substantial and lasts for a decent amount of time. We've used this one for 2 winters now. It is difficult to wind back up just because of the coil that's in it to heat it. It's very stiff. So the day 0G comes up with the heated hose, I will buy it immediately. So 0G, get on it because I will be your first customer. So for a sewer hose stand, we currently have the plastic one from Camco. We're not a big fan of the plastic one. We had a metal one previously, but it was stolen and they are a little pricey, so we haven't bought another one. When ours finally does break, we will go back to the metal one. The reason I don't like the plastic ones is because they dry rot. The sun gets to them and beats down the hinges and they always snap apart.
With that said, there's a budget for everyone, and when our metal one was stolen, they are pricey, like you said. So we're currently
like $70 or something like that.
So we are currently using the plastic one, and it does an okay job. Our next must-have are chocks for the tires to block your movement moving forward or backwards. We hate the plastic ones. We only buy the real heavy-duty rubber ones now. The plastic ones are affected gravely by climate and sun, things like that. Also, if you forget to remove one,
that's your job.
No, well,
don't look at me.
He goes too early before I have it pulled out. So if I haven't removed it and he pulls forward, it just flattens that plastic one like a pancake. So those are junk to us. We only buy the thick, heavy-duty ones.
Another wheel chock we like to use really just to stabilize the RV is the BAL X chocks. Those go in between the two tires. We have seen some people use the two plastic pieces connected by a threaded bolt, and you tighten it down and those clamp down on your tires. those we've seen a lot of people, it's really easy to strip out because it's metal threads going into a plastic, so a lot of times they strip out. Whereas the BAL X chocks, when you tighten up that bolt, it expands out, so you're not pushing against those threads. We specifically like the BAL. They're a little more expensive, but the metal on the X portion that scissors in and out is a little thicker, so it doesn't bend as easily. A lot of times the RVs can settle here and there, and if you get too much tension on them, those X chocks can kind of sandwich together and that metal can bend out. So we haven't noticed any of those issues with the BAL X chocks.
And side note, don't drive over them.
Why are you driving over everything?
You drove over it.
When did I drive over
You
them?
bent our last ones.
No, it's from the RV settling, like I said.
It bent that much?
Yes.
Oh.
That's why I didn't like the other ones.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the next product that we find really important as a must-have is a water pressure gauge. So we want to make sure it's an adjustable one. So the park we're currently in right now has a water pressure of 140 PSI before we hooked anything up to it. And we ended up setting it around 60.
Now, there's a lot of these different water pressure gauges that are adjustable. What you really want to look for is you want to make sure that your gauge is oil filled. So what that's going to do is when you're adjusting your pressure, it's going to give you the most accurate reading, just like on gauges on race cars. A lot of them are oil filled. So if it's just filled with air, that needle can bounce around when you're trying to pressurize and get it fine-tuned. So you're never going to know where your pressure actually is. Whereas if it's oil filled, it's going to slowly rise and slowly go down so you can get a more accurate reading. The next must-have that I would recommend is a metal Y splitter for the hose. So we like to have two. We have one at the stationary base of the park that we're at, so we can have a secondary hose to wash the dogs or wash down the RV or the truck, something like that. And then we also put another one in our wet bay, and what we do with that one is we take a small 6 to 12 inch section of hose and we hook it into our black fill tank so that we can flush our black tank without unhooking our hose and hooking it up to that one. And it has two on-off switches, so you can turn the water off to your house, turn the water onto your black fill, and then once you're done, you shut them both off, rinse the water out of the hose so you have no backfill, and then turn your water back onto your coach.
And when you say rinse the water out of your hose, you're talking about the low drain.
Yep, the low drain point. If you turn that off and then turn the water back onto your coach, it'll flush all that excess water out of the hose, so you make sure you're not getting any backfill from your black tank.
So the last one is a surge protector. So that's something that you would plug into your pedestal to check to see if the electric is good before you even plug in your coach. But once it's plugged in and confirmed that you have good power, then you can go ahead and plug your coach into it as well.
Specifically, we like the Progressive Industries 50 amp protector. When we're in Phoenix, they did a lot of brownouts where they dropped the voltage down. This is going to protect against that. It'll give you a meter check, so if you're paying for electric, you can actually read off of that how much you've used for that month, and you can reset it. And it also is a basic surge protector, so if you get a lightning strike and that surge goes through, this is one of the best ones we've seen, especially for the features, as it is a little more expensive. It's like $200, something like that. So it is a little more expensive, but it is worth the money.
Compare that $200 to potentially
$100,000 new coach.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it totaled it, yeah. So it's worth it to spend a little bit more on that. We saw a guy that plugged his wet electrical cord into a pedestal and caught the whole pedestal on fire.
Had he had a surge protector, that would have happened.
It would have stopped it at the surge protector. So that's it for today's video. All of the links are in the description for all the products that we've talked about today. So make sure and check those out, or drop us a comment of must-haves that you have, and we'll make sure to check them out.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell to stay up to date on all future content we post. Then head on over to Instagram and follow us at Long Haul Lifesavers. Bye, guys.